Hey YouTube, it's Kim from Honey Trail Farm. I'm about to get the day started. This is my third attempt at making this YouTube video. I'm gonna bang out this morning's chores so that I'm gonna go around the farm today and yank out T-posts and fence that we aren't using so that I can use it in my garden. That's the goal. Because tonight and tomorrow night I want to transplant all of my tomatoes at least, and then start on the flowers because the ground is finally workable. This spring has been so wet and so cold that I haven't been able to get hardly anything in yet, and we're nearing the middle of May. I just feel behind, but I know that it's going to be fine. A couple weeks in the grand scheme of things isn't going to make a difference. At this point I'm just rambling, so let's get a move. All summer long, I be wearing my fanny pack. Hey Hunter, when I tell you to, can you turn the hose on?
I turned it off.
So honestly, I'm kind of sad that the video the other day had no sound because it was of me moving the girls to the biggest pasture that we have. I'm trying to do things to the best of my ability. So right now, I don't have the ability to move the girls every single day. I don't have the infrastructure for that yet, but what I can do is we've created mini paddocks within our pasture so that when they exhaust one, I can move them to the next. I really follow everything basically that Justin Rhodes and Joel Salatin do, because I really believe in what they're doing. And when you sit down and think about it, they don't sound so crazy. But now the girls are in the biggest paddock that we have, and it freaked me out for a second because I thought they were gone, but really they're just all the way at the end laying down, and our grass is tall. But I am going to.
Honey, drink. Oh, I actually hurt.
You're thirsty? Oh, here she comes. You called her in.
Yeah. Miss Honey, water's filling up. Peanut, your water's filling up. Peanut, your water's filling up.
Came in to open the greenhouse up. Pretty much the only thing left. I've got some random like lavender. My cucamelons I need to harden off and get out soon. Got just random here's and there's. And also all my dahlias are still in here. So I need to harden off my cuttings for one. And then this weekend I plan on getting all my tubers planted. Ooh, the dang wasps have come back to make a home in my greenhouse, and I'm terrified. I'm just gonna try to water things real fast and get out. Another thing that I discussed in the video that had no sound is, so if you remember right, we had 3 piglets. One of them had to have had like a respiratory issue. It seemed to be choking. Like I jumped in there because I only noticed it like when I went to feed, and it was like gasping for air, and I jumped in there like a crazy person and was like patting it on the back like you would your kid. I don't know what I thought that I was gonna do. Didn't work. My husband Kale did like a little pig autopsy just to make sure that nothing was caught in their airway. Hunter's job is to take care of the kitties, so making sure that they're in at night and then letting them out. Do they have food and water? Did you make sure? It's gonna be hot today. How cute.
Yeah.
You're too close to the camera. Back up and they can see you. See? Oh, she's kicking you in the head. They went down to play. We checked and made sure that the pig wasn't choking on anything, and my husband said it looked like she had a spot on her lung, so it wasn't, I don't think it was anything we did, she just had an issue. So we didn't process her or anything, we buried her because you never eat something that you don't know how it died. Which kind of stinks because I think we were gonna keep 2 and sell 1. And then that would have paid for us to have free, you know, pork, which was the plan, but can't really control that, so it's fine. I did not wear the appropriate shoe choice to get in a pig pen. So behind me you can see it, we have this long line of fence. It actually connects to our pasture, so where it connects, obviously I'm not gonna take that fencing, but this whole row, there's probably 100 feet at least of T-posts and cattle panels that I'm gonna take out so that I can use. I have this vision of, okay, so I have these long rows, you can see, they're 90-foot beds. I have 10 of them so far, but we gonna need more. We expanded. So, but I wanna have these long rows going this way, and then kind of where I am, I want one, ooh, I feel like a weather girl, like how do you put your hands? I want one long row connecting them all, and then so that there's a walkway in between right here. And then picture this, okay? We've got arched cattle panel trellises on each row, connecting the end of one and the vertical row so that you can walk through a tunnel. Isn't it gonna be amazing? And that's where I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna grow all of my cucumbers up and over. They're easy to see, they dangle, you don't have to search through the jungle of prickly cucumber mess. Over that, not gonna do that again. So, I'm gonna have at least 10 arched panels until I run out of money, and then I run out of equipment or I don't have the money to buy more, but I want as many as I possibly can get. So I'm gonna grow my cucumbers on there, my cucamelons. Pole beans grow really well on an arch trellis. They'll go all the way around. I'm gonna do some melons, some like personal melons that the kids can pick. I'm gonna have like watermelons and winter squash and stuff like that in its own patch. I'm gonna do my own pumpkin patch this year. So I'm gonna plant the big vining things in one area, but the smaller ones that get lost in the jungle, I'm gonna do on arched trellises. Okay, it's later in the day. I've got my helper with me. We're putting up the tomato walls. This is my experiment. I'm gonna run, okay, so I have 4-foot wide beds that are 90 feet long. I think I can fit 2 per bed and trellis them up. So I'm gonna heavily prune them. I have over 200 plants. I'm not really worried about taking off producing stems. I think that the gap in the middle is enough airflow. I guess we'll find out. If it's awful, I won't do this again next year, but I was trying to save space by doing 2 per bed. And I really hope I don't regret not laying fabric down, but I felt like it was just gonna make a million holes in it because I'm spacing 18 inches apart plus the T-posts, and I'm just gonna heavily mulch with straw. All of the cattle panels and the T-posts are all a little wonky because we're repurposing them from places that we don't need fence there anymore. So they're all a little crooked, but it'll work just fine. So as you see behind me, I got one row of the tomato wall. I'm gonna have one here and one here, and my plan is it's gonna feel like you're walking through a tomato tunnel. That is the goal. Okay, inside my garden binder, this is my attempt at being organized, because I'm just not. But I really want to know what my varieties are this year, because I'm gonna save seed. First planting is green tomatoes right here on the edge where I'm not gonna lose them in the crowd, and I'm going to know when they're ripe, right? This is how I plant all of my tomato starts. So tomatoes can grow roots. I don't know if you can see it, but there's tiny little hairs on the stems of the tomatoes, and that will produce more roots. So by growing it, I'm gonna dig a kind of a horizontal hole instead of a vertical hole down, and I'm going to plant it all the way up to here, probably. Maybe even up to here. Now, I laid all my green ones out already. Really only about an hour and a half ago, I laid them on their side like this, and it is already starting. You can see it curving up. This will have no problem. It will turn straight up, and you wouldn't even know that I planted it sideways here, like literally a day. My panels are about 2 feet-ish, 24 inches, 20 inches, I don't know, off the ground. It looks pretty wonky, okay? It's a little bit wavy because we reused these panels. We already had them here, and so when they were lifted by the tractor, it kind of made them all wonky. They were kind of wonky anyway, they're old. But you won't even notice because it's gonna be like a wall of green and beauty. You won't even notice that they're a little wonky. And I realized I don't have my shovel, so I'm gonna go find that. Also, one more thing before I start planting. I planted in these newspaper pots, so I don't even have to take it out of the pot. You just lay it in the hole. And I'm gonna put this in towards the edge of the bed and this in towards the panel, in case you wanted to know. Now I'm gonna do a time lapse. So I just wanted to say one more thing. I'm about to sign off so I can bang out this row. I've gotten for a 24 planted, 24 down, 175 to go. No, I won't be planting all those tonight. But I wanted to say, please focus on my face. I wanted to say that if at all possible, try to transplant, especially tender things like tomatoes and peppers. Try to transplant them at night so that they have all night to recover in a cool, dark setting rather than transplanting them. The other option is the morning, but if it's anything like here, it heats up real quick, and the less stress that you can put on your plants, the better off that they will be in the long run. So I'm choosing to transplant in the evening. I'm gonna plant what I can until I run out of daylight. I'm almost there now. And then I'm gonna lay out all my plants along the rows sideways so they can start to get that curve upwards, and it will just help their transition even more because their leaves won't be laying on the ground like they are right now. So as you can see, I've got tons left to do, so I'm gonna sign off for the night. So thank you guys for watching. See you next time.